please, following today's match here against San Diego?
Yeah, I think we're a bit frustrated with the result. We kind of dug ourselves into a hole in the first half. But I think we did respond well. After they scored their last goal, I think we really, kind of flipped the script and had the ball more in their half and really played some good soccer, but we can't wait to be in those positions to start playing like that. So I know we'll definitely look back on those moments of the game that we kind of let up and had some easy goals come in. But some positives to build on for sure. Just we got to start really blocking it down and making sure that we're not giving those opportunities away.
Thank you for that. We'll take questions here. We'll start with Manny.
Okay, I just want to comment on the team resilience. I think it was, you mentioned a little bit, I think after the third goal, but when Barbara shot her goal outside the box, I feel like the team just gained a huge energy. What was going through your mind and what you thought of the team performance after that goal?
Yeah, I think we thought one goal at a time. I mean, I knew that we had belief that we were still in the game, even before that point, but that was really just the catalyst for us to really start pushing forward. And I think we really started to feel the rhythm of the game after that moment. And you could see just in the way that we were possessing and building up the field was much more positive, and we were definitely in their end much more. So I think we just can't wait for those kinds of goals or moments to happen in a game to feel like that. I think we need to kind of instill that belief earlier on in the game from ourselves, even if we're not scoring, but getting good chances on goal.
I know time over time Fabrice keeps mentioning about the mental, like you said, mental mindset and start of the game. I think it's a little bit hard after having a good performance against Orlando and strong for defensive, and maybe not so strong on this one. I think from your defensive end, how would you like to have gone defensively in this game?
Not concede 3 goals. I think, like you said, we had a really strong performance in Orlando, and I think we just needed to build off of that. And unfortunately, we gave up some fairly soft goals that just let them into the game. And I know we're better than that. We know we're better than that. And I think that's something that we have to start priding ourselves on more, and really start honing in on that in training and making sure that, we hold ourselves to the highest standard possible.
Go ahead.
Hi. Unfortunate results, but you guys had a lot of different movement in the back, whether it be you, Nat, and Paige, but also help with Ryan and Maggie. Can you talk to me a little bit about what goes through your head as a leader when it comes to rallying different players and maybe calling them to be in different spaces and just working as a back line?
Yeah, I think it comes all down to relationships and communication, and everyone responds differently to different types of communication. So I think it's, understanding what the best way to get the best performance out of somebody is, and sometimes it might be a little harder for one person than it is for another, but at the end of the day, we all understand that we just want each other to have the best game possible. So there might be some tough love at times, but we all know it's coming from a good place. And I think we all respond well to each other during the game, and unfortunately when we do concede, I know we all take that pretty hard as a back line because that's our job to try and keep the goal at the back of the net. So I know we'll definitely feel the brunt of responsibility for that. But we're still growing, we're still learning, and trying to just keep a solid brick wall back there, and it's going to happen. We're seeing sparks of it, so I'm very hopeful for anyone that's in the back line to do their job.
And then you guys have North Carolina coming up and then a summer break. Can you reflect a little bit, since we're kind of getting into the halfway point of the season, Fabrice, his first year here with the Dash, and a bunch of new players in new positions. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you've seen this team grow and how you've grown individually?
Yeah, I think we have a really strong culture that we're trying to cultivate here. I think we're really trying to play a good brand of soccer as well. I think the fans are starting to see it in moments, which is really exciting. I think we just have to try and put more full performances together. and then it'll really start to click, and we'll finally see some of the results that we've, been chasing. But yeah, I think there's definitely a positive light overall in the environment in the club. I think, after last season, we're really just looking up and trying to be better in every aspect, and I think we're starting to chip away at that, which is exciting. And then going into the break, I think we just really want to put in a really solid, strong performance leading into that, so we end on a high note at the halfway mark of the season.
And one last one for me. Fabrice was fired up, yelling ever since before the goal by Barb. Can you talk to me a little bit about how his intensity and his presence helps uplift the team through any situation?
Yeah, I think he definitely brings a lot of energy to the field, which is great. I think at times we need to kind of be the ones to instill that in ourselves, but it is nice to have him on the side, cheering us on, believing in us, and just really pushing us to be the best that we possibly can. I think he just wants us to be successful, and he's really passionate about it. So it's nice to have a coach on the sideline that just wants you to do as best you can.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up with that one. Katie, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.
We're going to kick things off. Fabrice, would you start with opening remarks, please, following today's match here against San Diego?
Positives were the second half, the response, getting a little more pressure higher up the field definitely helped us. I thought in the first half we weren't able to get to their fullbacks quick enough and aggressively enough, which allowed them a little more momentum. But if you still look at the second goal, that's just us doing that versus them necessarily creating that. So yeah, disappointed for sure, but we also played a very, very good team. And so second half, I thought I could say we were definitely the better team, and just a few minutes short from trying to create an equalizer.
Thank you for that. We'll take questions here. Start with Manny here.
I just wanted to comment just about the goal scorers today. I know Yasmin was their first goal for the dash, and Barbara gained almost a confidence goal overall for her performance. How important I know goals change games, but also boosts morale and confidence. How important were those goals for those players specifically?
Yeah, look, this is Barb's now second goal, so she's kind of coming into form, so very, very pleased for her. And then Yaz, obviously, I think she now has kind of the monkey off her back, and now she can kind of go full swing. I know she's been a little bit out with some injuries here and there, so now obviously using her at the 9, I think she's been a bright spot for us, so I think we're just going to keep the momentum going. But yeah, to your point, creating and scoring goals is a difficult thing, so to get to the end is a positive.
And I just want to jump back on your mention on Barb's form. I know today she had an outstanding game, maybe do a little bit of the dirty work and also providing for the attack as well. I just want to see your comment about how her game is evolving in the dash side. I know she's been in and out, starting bench, and now she's coming in form. How well she has progressed over the season under you?
Yeah, look, I think her positioning has been much improved. I think she's a player that always wants to gravitate towards the ball, which is a good thing, but she's definitely has improved her positional discipline, which allows her to be creative in between the lines and all those things. So, I think very, very pleased with her, and obviously she's extremely fit and able to cover ground for long distance. You know, in this league, it's you need those types of players. But she's getting into a form, and we're really excited for her and the future with us.
And my last question, I think, is maintaining the mindset. I think despite 2 underwhelming results, the one here and the one in Orlando, and coming to the last game coming next week, how to, I think, reset the mindset and keep it forward, because you had a great second half and keeping that mindset for the next game.
Yeah, it's one of those difficult things, and that's something, I think we've been preaching all year long. We've had good performances, but sometimes just moments, right? Even started the second half, like conceding the goal that we conceded, or even the second goal in this game. So there's a lot of growth that we need to continually have. But yeah, that's been even our message today is, there's a lot of things outside of our control, but all we can do is come with the mindset of wanting to improve and having that resilience. So, yeah.
We'll go to Alex here in the back.
Coach, good evening.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good evening, and forgive me if you've already answered some of these questions. First of all,
giving up a lot of corner kicks, right? I'm sure that's something you were working on throughout and maybe adjusting to that. But the more set plays like that you give away, it's danger for the team defensively, right?
Yeah, it is, and obviously there were some where one corner led to 2 to 3 to 4, so it's like one corner led to 3 more, right? So I think obviously we'll have to look back on that, and we made some tweaks at halftime to make sure that that we minimize those opportunities.
They were taking short corners almost from the beginning, right? Is that just something you weren't used to, or is that a different look?
No, we knew it. It's just some positioning of players were a little bit off, and as you know, sometimes a couple yards can be the difference of that. So.
Abby Smith tonight, to me, I think even though it's not a clean sheet, I think she did great. Some saves, movements, commitment, her positioning. Maybe a lot of people may not see that with the 3 goals, but your words about her.
Yeah, look, I think that first save in the first half, where she flicks it off the post, and goes off the post, I think it's a world-class save. So, yeah, look, I think Abby has been consistent. She's been great for us, and I'm just a little bit disappointed that we conceded the goals that we did, because to your point, it wasn't a reflection of her performance in my opinion.
Lastly, what do you do between now and the 4th of August in keeping things going or improving things or reassessing? And thank you, Coach.
I think there's a lot. Obviously, we got one more game before the break, so we need to make sure we finish on a good note. And then obviously we'll have our week off. We'll reset. And there's a lot of assessment. I think our process is really, really good, but it can always probably be better, right? So we'll have to look back at that, regroup with leadership group within the team, and see how we can, move forward and have a strong push in the second half.
Diego. Hey Fabrice. Talk to me a little bit about what goes on through your head when you talk to the players after a strong performance in Orlando defensively and then conceding 3 and helping them kind of like maintain positivity and keeping them going as they still have one more before the break.
Yeah, I think for us it's always looking at where we are and what progress are we making, and so I think just being very objective in that, not just like fluff, hey, you're doing great, but actually like looking at the progress. So I think that's, in every game, whether you lose or you win, there's always something to take from it, right? Or there's several things to take from it. So I think for us is really identifying what the problems were and what the solutions are. And I think if every game you can do that, you continually instilling hope and belief in what we're doing.
And this is the 2nd or 3rd game where you've played Maggie in more of a fullback position instead of somewhere in the midfield. Can you talk to me a little bit about where you see her strengths really being in that position? As I saw her really displaying a lot of physicality and a lot of movement in the wing.
Yeah, some of it is that. Some of it is Avery being out as well. So obviously not having Avery hurts us, and so Maggie is someone that can play a lot of different roles and positions. So we felt, hey, she's in our best 11, so right now we're going to put her at wingback, but I think she could do a lot of different things, and as you saw, she's fairly dynamic, so that spot kind of looked, is a pretty good spot for her.
And then my final question is, you guys are arriving the halfway point of the season. Can you talk a little bit and reflect about how you felt the season has gone, and considering this is your first year with the Dash?
Yeah, I think it's gone okay. I think if you look at some of the performances, maybe not necessarily today, but there's been performances where we haven't gotten results, and I think those are games that, looking back, can really cost you. And so I think for us, I think it's gone okay. So I think there's a lot to improve on. Obviously, we need to stay positive in where we're going, and it takes time. But yeah, so I think there's a lot of reassessment and what we're going to do this summer.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll wrap up with that one. Thank you for Bruce. Yes, we'll just start with opening remarks following today's match here against San Diego. In terms of just what you take away from today's match, the second half specifically.
I think once we got our press together and we're winning the ball in really good spots, it was just a matter of finishing, and I feel like that's kind of the story for us. I think that we constantly get in good positions to punish teams, and then it's just doing that more often and taking our chances more often. Second half was way better, and I felt like we had a great momentum in the first 20 minutes of the second half. So just gotta get it in earlier.
We're going to take questions. Alex, go ahead.
Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I know you're disappointed, but talk to us about your goal. And right before you walked in here, or when you walked in, you said it was about time. We've been seeing the flashes of brilliance, but tonight a golazo. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I honestly don't remember what happened before to lead up to Maggie getting the ball, but when it got wide, I knew her only option was to play it down the line, and then as it was going, I got a toe on it, and it stayed in, which was great, and then it was just about, you know, the willingness to keep going, and I knew that we still, I mean, obviously I wanted to score, and like we still needed a goal, so as soon as I was in that position again, I think there was one earlier where I had found Barb at the top of the box, and so this one I was like really wanting to shoot, and so I was really excited to finally get the ball in the back of the net, and was very hopeful that we were gonna come back, but I'm really proud that I finished one.
In that play, there was contact there. Did you contemplate for a second, let's let the contact take me down, or were you convinced you wanted to keep going?
No, I knew once I had her beat, I did not want to go down, and I think if I would have went down and took the foul, it just wasn't out for them, and that would have been a textbook foul for them. So I knew I really needed to push and not let that one go, because when I was off, I was off, and so I really wanted to keep going.
How do you not get down 0-3, right? That can be a big difference in any game. I see the disappointment. We talked to Barb about that. None of you want to lose. How can you improve that so that you maybe have a better position to pick up points?
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively we just got to get organized quicker and really stick with that. I think, you know, our defenders do such a great job game in and game out of being aggressive, and Abby making amazing saves. You know, sometimes it just doesn't go our way, and it's little things here and there, but I think it starts with up top, and especially naming us a 9, trickling down how we can stay compact as a team and really keep defending better as a team.
One more, if you don't mind. I've seen that Coach Fabrice is great in the locker room making adjustments at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't want to be down multiple goals, but talk to us about his talks in general at halftime. I can imagine he breaks it down and usually offers something that can change the situation.
Yeah, I think the way that he broke it down, it's just a couple tweaks here and there. So 1 or 2 things that are adjusted so that way we can be in better positions. And then it's just about the energy and the fight. We know as a team that we have a history of coming out really good in the second half and really fighting to come back. So keeping that in mind while making those adjustments, and then just like still knowing that we have a whole half. I mean, if they can score 3 goals in a half, so can we. So I mean, just listening to him and what we need to change, and then just going from there.
Great, thank you.
Go ahead, Danny.
Jasmine, talk about we saw that chemistry in the second half that you're having with Barb. How are you feeling after coming to this team and just looking forward to the second half of the season?
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to the second half. I think this first half we've figured out a lot about who we are as a team and what we want to be, and moments of brilliance as a team and how we can play. So I'm really excited I think this second half we're really going to put it all together. The game against North Carolina coming up, I really think we're slowly putting all the pieces together, and it's adjustments here and there, and it's always small things that could be better. And so I really think that we're honing in on the details. And yeah, I mean, playing with Barb is always great. She's a great player, so good on the ball, and can do it all. So I think the stronger connection that we have up top and the more goals we can put away, it won't matter if we're down 3-0, because we can score 4 or 5 goals with the chances that we create, because we have a really good front line, we have a good front press, and when it's on, it's on. And so, I'm really, really looking forward to the second half. I think we're going to be not necessarily a whole new different team, because I liked what we're doing now, but just a more refined team, and I'm really excited about that.
How to get over a big break, like a month and a half, to getting back in the season? Like, what's the plan, or you personally, what are you planning on working on to stay and just keep it up?
Like me personally or the team?
Both?
Okay. As a team, I think still recognizing the things that are going well and not losing our fight and our bite. And so using this month to try things again and see what we can do. And then I think for me individually, just staying on this track of scoring goals and assisting and being dangerous and creating chances for the team. That's something that I really want to do, especially anytime I play as a 9. I want to be that 9 that can be dangerous for the team and score goals and create. So I really want to stay on this wave and do that.
Thank you. Welcome to Houston.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up with that one. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you guys.